Thank you. Hello, everyone. Um, so yes, you heard a lot about regulation today, and I think it was a good idea to show you, to present you some advices for crypto startup, crypto business. As a lawyer, I'm advising companies, and I found some key points that some projects are missing. Yes, is it working here? Good. So, okay, low. It's not sexy for startup because a lot of things. First, it can be it can be expensive at the first time. You go to a lawyer and you are a bit impressed. It's also time consuming. So if you are building a project, you may have a few times to go to your lawyer. And it's also can be boring to think about law and contract and stuff like this. But I think it's quite important. And as a lawyer, it's okay. It's obvious that I will tell you that law is important. But seriously, I think the 7 tips I will share with you today. Some are simple and logic. I will say something and you will say yes. So what? But sometimes crypto projects forgot about these simple things. It's general information, so it's not really relevant for any businesses. So take that into account. And also it's in a random order. So the first one is not the most important, etc. 20 minutes to speak with you about this. And I'm not fluent as the other speaker, so keep cool with me. So the first one is you have to structure your company correctly. Structuring your company is quite important for different reasons, and the most important reason is the regulatory risk. You may heard about VASP regime in Belgium, and one of the requirements for this agreement to have in Belgium is the type of the company you choose. So in Belgium, you know, there is like SRL, Société à responsabilité limitée, SN, Société anonyme, SA. For the VASP regime, you have to be a SA, Société anonyme. So I met some clients, they have a SRL and they want to be a VASP, and I says, no, it's too late. You have to incorporate a new company or switch the company. So this is details, but you know, it's way more expensive to comply when you are. Is it good? Yeah. Okay. Is it way more expensive to comply when you are in an existing business to think about the way you have to build your business? So yeah, if you think about the structuring your company. Second tip, set up internal policies, quite important. You know, Web3 is decentralized and you have a remote worker, a decentralized office and stuff like this. So you don't have everyone in the same room like here. So you have to set up policies with your employees, workers, freelance and stuff like this. And about communication, because you know, like the chill effect, buy my coin, it will go to the moon and stuff like this. If you want to build some great and great project, you don't want this. You don't want this kind of communication on the Twitter, CT, and stuff like this. So you have maybe to set up some guidelines, some rules for the communication about your project to avoid bad situation. I saw a lot of people who are a chilling project on Twitter, and the CEO or someone who's the project leader doesn't know about this guy, and he say, "What the fuck he's doing?" I mean, is ruining my project. So set up some guidelines, communication policies, trading policy also for your close workers. You know, in the crypto project, there are kind of like stock option project, like giving crypto tokens to your workers with vesting period and stuff like this. Maybe you have to think about the trading policy to avoid market manipulation and stuff like this, and also in sanction policy, because with no sanctions, there is no rules. And I think it's better to spotlight the sanction before, like people will be a bit afraid of the sanction, and I think it's quite important. Third tips is have an accurate content. Quite obvious, but I think it's really, really important, because in the crypto sphere, all the projects are working on marketing. So you don't have a shop and some product clients or customer can bring and buy. It's always on marketing. Every time marketing, digital, website and stuff like this. So all your project is public and the regulator and the plaintiff will go on this message, public message you are sharing to sell your product, your service. So pay extreme attention to the content you are displaying. Don't copy paste, never. Okay, you can copycat and reuse it, but pay a lot of attention about this because it's obvious. You will copy paste a stuff from someone who did also a copy paste from someone else, and the mistake is continuously made. So don't copy paste. Crystal clear message. It's a mandatory requirement in the MiCA regulation. So you have to be precise and clear about your message and the information you are presenting. And I took the definition in MiCA, the provision in MiCA. Fair, clear, and not misleading information. First, next one, you can read it. I will drink a sip. So yeah, obvious also. Have a terms and policy and terms and condition policy and a privacy policy. You can disclose a lot of things in your terms and condition, and it's quite obvious you need to use one of the terms and condition to protect your business, protect yourself, and protect your partners and employees and stuff like this. And I think the key point here is the privacy policy, because we saw that regulators have a tendency to KYC. You know, a lot of data, personal data, will be processed into the cryptosphere, and you know the guy, GDPR. Quite important to think about it, because when you are building your business, you have to comply to the ML law, etc., etc. But GDPR will be a big subject in the cryptosphere because the KYC. So yes, some crypto projects don't want to be on the KYC stuff, but I think it will go on this way. So yes, privacy policy have a big impact on the business because you will manage personal data. Don't forget it. 5, take care about your IP. Yes, IP. You know, the monkeys you bought, stuff like this, and you also heard about Lava Labs, Yuga Labs, and the mistake they did about selling stuff without thinking about the IP. So I think it's quite important also to think about the IP. For example, you are working with freelance, business dev, employees, and stuff like this. Imagine they are contributing to your project, and if you have a dispute with them, what can they do about the stuff they bring to your business? It's my IP. No, come on, don't use it. I'm leaving the company, and you out of business. You have to think about the way the people who are working with your business will give you the IP or stuff like this. Take the example from GitHub. You know GitHub. A lot of projects in the cryptosphere is code-based open to contribution. And so on the GitHub, if you are using GitHub, you are giving your IP to the project. It's also on the term and condition on the GitHub. So it's an example. And trademark and copyright protection, quite important. Trademark, obvious. I mean, look, SushiSwap, PancakeSwap, Uniswap. It's like same words, and in IP law, it's parasitism. So you can protect yourself by, sorry, me or? Yes. So you can protect yourself by asking a trademark, and also the protection of the copyrights. You know, copywriting. It's quite important. So think about it when you are building your business in the crypto sphere or any business, obviously. 6.1, crypto marketing, beware. Quite obvious. I mean, some people know Nabila. That's the perfect example of not what you have not to do in the business regulation in the business sphere. MiCA regulation take that into account for obvious reason. Consumer protection. That's the key messages. One of the key messages in the MiCA regulation. You heard a lot about MiCA regulation today, so I'm sure you are aware of this goal. When you are advertising project in crypto, a crypto project, I told you it's always marketing, marketing, marketing. So you have to be really, really prudent about the commercial communication you are doing. And MiCA says the commercial communication have to be clearly recognizable. Hard word to speak, to say in English. So, like putting some stickers on the publication or something like this. Quality of the information. You don't have to say silly thing like the APY, IPR to the moon and stuff like this. And the information you are giving to the people have to be linked with your white paper. It's also a requirement in the MiCA regulation when you are issue a token, but we will go to this point later. So this is quite important because for me, as I saw on the market, all the projects are digital marketing and stuff like this. So you really have to be aware of this legal requirement. Seventh, token insurance, big one, last one, because it's all about the crypto ecosystem. Okay, you issue a token and you try to finance your project with a token in ICO and stuff like this. It's also a part of the MiCA regulation. It's to enforce condition about the token insurance, and so they describe different type of token and they give you guidelines to respect for token insurance. And for this, you have to describe your project in detail, and it's quite important because also the regulators will be notified from you have to notify your white paper to the regulators. And so if you do 5 pages like, okay, good, thank you, the regulator will be, this one, I may have a look on it. But if you have a big, strong white paper, okay, Satoshi did 9 pages, but maybe it's better to write more. So detailed description, quite important. Explaining when you are using crypto for your project. Because, you know, if you are in the business, blockchain is a buzzword, okay? Crypto is a buzzword. And sometimes it's at this point you are thinking about, okay, why I'm using crypto for my project, why I need an ICOs or something like this. And if you cannot answer this question, maybe it's not the blockchain environment you need. The details of the public offer. Right and obligation of the token, technology explanation. You know, in this business, it's quite complicated, maybe shady, maybe risky. So pay big attention to the technology explanation. What consensus mechanism you are using if you are on your own blockchain and stuff like this. So really be precise and take this kind of explanation really into account for your white paper. Risk description, obvious also, and other requirement, executive summary statement for the management body, etc. Notification of the white paper to the national regulators, I told you that. And also don't overestimate the tax consequences of the token issuance because it's a mess. Accountingly speaking, it's a mess. In Belgium, we have some guidelines from the the CNC, but it's when you put it, when you deep dive in this recommendation, there are some problems regarding the accounting and the movement on the book. So quite important. I forgot a slide. So okay. I speak fast because I have 20 minutes. I wrote a blog post on my website, avroy.be, and I did a podcast, NFT Business, with Claudia and Benjamin about this information. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Florian, for these very interesting tips. Yeah, indeed. So we have time for maybe 2 questions. If someone has maybe a legal question.
Have you got cases where a blockchain company suffered from a bank decision to close the accounts, and what are the legal steps that the company could do, just because it's active in the crypto environment?
Yeah, it's the mighty banks, the powerful bank, and they rely on their terms and conditions. I saw a decision about the closing of the bank account, not crypto related, but for another reasons. It's more like about the activities of the company on a other continent, and yeah, they bring the case into the court and they win because the decision was not fair, and so they claim interest and damages, and they won. But for the problem, crypto and bank accounts, maybe we will have a solution in September or October for this on this year. Like with the right to have a bank account will be open to companies. So finger crossed. Maybe it's past history.
Someone else? One last question? Well, doesn't look like. Thank you.